Hey there all, hope you're doing very great. So let's begin our today's class. So as you all know, we were discussing chapter first, financial statement of a company, and we have already discussed company's definition, company's meaning and meaning of financial statement. Okay, and we have already discussed balance sheet of a company with its all major head and subhead, right? Taking the concept further, I would like to discuss the detailed balance sheet with all you people. But before that, I actually believe that all you people must go through these some important terms and concepts. Okay, so let's begin. Categories of share capital of a company. Yes, of course, I know you are gonna see the detailed version of this in chapter share capital, but as you all know, we have started with the volume 3. Okay, so it's my concern to make you aware of these concepts first of all, authorized capital. Okay, from the accounting point of view, share capital of company is classified under different heads, among which the very first head is authorized capital. It is also known as nominal or registered capital. Okay, it is the amount of share capital with which a company authorized to issue by its memorandum of association. Or I can simply say that authorized capital is that capital with which company get itself registered, and company cannot raise more than the amount of capital as specified in MOA, that is memorandum of association. Okay, now next is issued capital. Issued capital is a part of authorized capital. Okay, now which type of part it is? It is that part which we offer to public, which we offer to vendors in return of some material supplied, some assets supplied, etc., and signatories to company's memorandum. Now, who are the signatories of company's memorandum? Obviously, those who take qualification shares. And who takes qualification shares? So, board of directors, obviously. Up next is subscribed capital. Subscribed capital is that part of issued capital which has been actually subscribed by public. Okay, and one more important thing to notice, company cannot allot more number of share than what is offered for subscription. Yes, it is correct. What is offered for subscription, beyond which we cannot allot shares. Okay, now in order to understand the concept of subscribed capital better, let's take one example. Suppose a company issued 10,000 shares to public. Now, the public acquires 9,500 shares. Public applied for 9,500 shares. So, those 9,500 shares become subscribed capital. Okay? Issued was what? 10,000. Out of which public acquired or public applied for what? 9,500. So those 9,500 become subscribed capital. Okay, up next is called up capital. As you all know, we have some value assigned to per share. Okay, that value assigned to per share, or I can say price per share, is known as face value of that share. Okay, so what's the connection between this called up and face value? Have a look. Called up capital is that part of subscribed capital which has been called up on the shares. Okay, so called up capital is basically what? Basically it is that part of capital which company actually called. In order to understand the concept in a better way, let's take one example. If the face value of a share, as I discussed just now, price per share is 10, okay, and the company has called up only 7 per share. This is what your called up capital is. Okay, par value or per price share was 10, but company called only, because company needed only 7 right now. So company called only 7. So these 7 rupees become called up capital, and the remaining 3 which company has not yet collected, it becomes uncalled capital. Yes. Let's go through the definition of uncalled capital. Uncalled capital is that portion of subscribed capital which has not yet been called up. Okay. So in above example, rupees 10 is face value of a share. Rupees 7 per share is called up capital, while 3 rupee is uncalled capital. Okay, some more important terms. Reserve capital. Reserve capital is a portion of uncalled capital. Yes, it is a portion of part of uncalled capital, which company is to be called in the event of winding up. Winding up means shutting down the business. So reserve capital is what? That portion of uncalled capital which company will call only at the event of close up of the company or wind up of the company. Up next is capital reserve. Capital reserve is the reserve that is created out of capital profit or gain. Now what is capital profit or gain? So remember one thing. Using one example, we'll understand this. Suppose I have sold a machinery at a profit of 2 lakh. Remember, we have sold a machine at profit of 2 lakh. And those 2 lakh in form of profit, I am going to save, I am going to reserve. Okay. So, the reserve created out of capital profit is called as capital reserve. Okay. Now, paid up capital. Paid up capital. It is that portion of called up capital which has been actually received from shareholder. Paid up capital is what? Paid up capital is that portion of called up capital which has been actually received from shareholder. For example, see, I have kept one example here. You know that previous example of 10 rupee where company called up only 7. In continuation to that, company called up 7. But suppose a shareholder didn't pay 2 per share. It means called up minus call in area. Call in area means the amount which we have not received. So rupee 5 which already been received is the paid up capital of a company. Subscribed and fully paid up capital. It is that part of issued capital which is fully called up by company and fully paid up by shareholder. Okay, you have seen the concept of subscribed capital? Right. In that subscribed capital, we have 2 subparts. Subscribed and fully paid up, subscribed but not fully paid up. A share or share capital is said to be fully paid up when the called up amount by the company is received by the company. Okay, and all the shareholders has paid the called up amount. Up next is subscribed but not fully paid up capital. Remember that 10 rupee par value example? Taking that further, suppose the company called 7 per share. Okay, it means 3 is not yet called. It means rupees 3 are the uncalled one. Because of that uncalled one, all these shares lie under the category of not fully paid up. Or suppose here 2 per share we have not received, right? So because of that also our total share come under the category of subscribed but not fully paid up capital. Up next is calls in advance. Calls in advance means, suppose I have 1000 share of a company and company right now call application money only. Okay, application money is that money with which we applied for those share, acquiring those share. But I have paid allotment money and first call money in advance. These are the different stages where company call money. So I have already paid in advance the allotment money and first call money. So that becomes my call in advance, and for which I am eligible for interest. Yes, it is. Interest of set period. Okay. So here comes the balance sheet, and the first head, equity and liability, where major head, shareholders fund, and share capital is the first subhead. But always remember, balance sheet is a summarized version of share capital. Balance sheet carries summarized version of all your details of all your transaction. Okay, the detailed version we gonna encounter in notes to account. Yes, always remember, note to account carries the detail of every head mentioned in balance sheet. So I can say that note to account and balance sheet are the indistinguished part of each other. Okay, note to account. First of all, authorized capital, as I already told you, it is the major capital, okay, or registered or nominal capital. So first we're going to record it, okay. Then issued capital, to whom we have issued, either to public or to vendor or to MOA, or either to all three of them. Then subscribed capital. Again we have discussed those categories: subscribed and fully paid up, subscribed but not fully paid up. Okay, now let's take one example. X Limited has an authorized capital of rupees 10 lakh divided into equity share of 10 each. See, these are in rupees, not in number. So first of all, let's take out the number. If 10 lakh is divided by 10 rupee each, it means number of shares become 1 lakh. Okay, so my authorized capital is what? 1 lakh equity shares of rupees 10 each. Here in outer column I am gonna record like this. It is just a note to account, okay? Remember. Then the company invited application for 50,000 share. Company invited application for 50,000. It means it become my issued capital. 50,000 equity shares of 10 each issued to public. It means 5 lakh. Outer column we gonna record it. Now application for 45,000 shares were received, okay. So these are the subscribed one, but here there is a suspense. What type of suspense it is? Final call company was not made. It means I am gonna record it in subscribed but not fully paid up. All money were duly received except on first call 2 per share. These except portion, no, this become call in area. However, company has forfeited 600 shares. Yes, company forfeited. It means company has null and void these shares. Okay, so how we gonna record it? See, subscribed but not fully paid capital is the category under subscribed capital. Now 44,400 equity shares of rupees 10 each, 7 called up. How much? 3,10,800. Add whatever you forfeit, no, you're gonna add. How much we have forfeited? 600 shares. Okay, 600 shares into 5, because they paid only 5 rupees on that. 3,000 less what amount we have not received. Totally we have 1,000 in area, but 600 were forfeited. So how many remains in area? 400. And what amount remain in area? 2 per share. So 400 into 2, 800. So this become the actual amount which gonna appear as share capital in our current year figure in the balance sheet. See, shareholders fund, share capital is the subhead, and current year's figure. From where it came from? Note number. Which note number it came from? Note number 1, share capital. note number, current year figure. Okay. Now, next subhead under shareholders fund, major head. Yes, what I said. Next, major head is shareholders fund and subhead is reserve and surplus. Reserve and surplus are required to be classified as the sub parts of this. Capital reserve, okay, as I discussed the definition. Security premium reserve, this is the extra amount which a company receives on shares. Revaluation reserve, other reserves like general and subsidy reserve. Capital redemption reserve, if we have redeemable share, then we have to maintain these capital redemption reserve. Debenture redemption reserve, redemption means to pay it back. Okay, so for shares we maintain capital redemption reserve, and for debentures payback we maintain debenture redemption reserve. Stock options outstanding account, and lastly the surplus, that is balance in statement of profit and loss. This balance may be positive or negative. Okay, it includes what? Dividend, bonus share, transfer to or from reserve, etc. Okay, so dear friends, that's all for today. Always remember, balance sheet is the summarized version while note to account is the detailed version, and both of them are indistinguished part of each other. That's all.